pop-up is the most important part of surfing, and to be honest, if your pop-up sucks, then the rest of your surfing is going to feel a little bit like trying to polish a turd. It doesn't really work. So it's worth spending some time and putting some effort into getting good form in your pop-up. Now, there are lots of different ways of popping up, lots of different styles and techniques. I'm going to show you the two main styles of popping up. The first one is called the Australian pop-up, and the second one is called the jump-up pop-up. And in this video, I'm going to address some of the problems and some of the obstacles that I encountered when I was learning to pop up. Hopefully, by pointing it out to you, it'll help you to avoid them. So let's start with the Australian pop-up. And you want to make sure you're really nice and centered on your surfboard. And you want to have really good posture on your board as well. So your legs are going to be together, the feet together. No slutty paddling with the legs apart like that. Really arch your back, so boobs off the board. I'm not the most flexible person in the world, but I find if I really engage my butt, if I engage my core, that helps me to support that arch of the back and have a good heads up as well. So we'll fast forward, we'll imagine I've paddled and I've caught the wave. It's time for me to do my Australian pop-up. Step one, the most important thing is always look up. So head up, never ever see your surfboard when you are popping up onto it. If your board is not there beneath you, you will know about it without having to look at it. So that's step one. Step two is the hand placement. Bring your hands back into by the ribs or alongside the chest. This is called the chicken wings position. Don't have your hands out in front of you. You have very little leverage there. Don't grab the rails either, because the rails, they're very wibbly wobbly. You'll probably end up doing a James Bond style roll off the board. So hands into the chicken wings position with the elbows pointing back like that. And then step three is you're going to straighten up the arms, lift the hips slightly off the board, keep lots of weight in the hands. Then the next thing you're going to do is take a small step with your back foot. Now I'm a goofy foot surfer, so I move my left foot first. Notice that this back foot is going to cross the length of the board, and then take a big step with your front foot in between your hands. Pause in your surfer's crouch, make sure everything feels good, you've got your head up, your chest up, and then slowly standing up, activating that front arm especially, getting it out in front of you, and your back arm bent at the elbow and the hand facing forward. So both hands are out in front of you, most of your weight is on your front foot. Now you're aiming to get your feet to land right on the stringer, on this center line of the board. You want your front foot to be in the center, along the center of the length of the board and the center of the width of the board, whatever kind of board you're riding. And the back foot, well, you want there to be roughly about shoulder width distance space in between the feet. Back foot at 90 degrees. Front foot can be anywhere between 90 and 45 degrees. Get most of your weight on your front foot when you're sort of popping up or cruising along. The front foot's like your anchor. That's a safe place to get your weight. So let me show you that one again. So step one was look up. Step two was the hand placement in the chicken wings. The chicken wings, whatever kind of pop-up you do, this is always your transition position between lying on the board and standing up. And I think most people can do this. So chicken wings, and then straighten up the arms, back foot, and then really twist as you're bringing that front foot forward. Channel your inner Shakira.
I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right.
And women, we tend to have much more flexible hips than men, so let's use that to advantage. At this point, I like to imagine there's a glass of champagne on my head. It's filled to the brim, and as I stand up slowly, I don't want to lose any of the champagne. Make sure that you're really you're bringing your lower body underneath your upper body, that your legs are coming directly under your torso. You don't want to bring your legs sort of around your torso like that, because it will be very unbalanced. So you have to really engage from the core, sort of project from the core, and really pull that knee into the chest like that. Try and stay within the parameters of your shoulders, or at least the parameters of your board, and try if you can to keep both shoulders pointing towards the nose. Slowly standing up, activating that front arm like you're a little surf ninja or something like that. So I really like that Australian pop-up. I think it's a good way for people especially women when we're first sort of learning, it's just a good way that getting that back foot on first and then getting the front foot, that back foot really gives you leverage to get the front foot into a good position. And maybe if you don't quite have the upper body strength or the core strength initially, it's a really good way to sort of get you up and riding on the board and get you having fun. And then when you start to feel stronger and more confident, you can have a go at doing the jump up pop-up. Jump up, it's really similar to the Australian pop-up, except both feet land on the board at the same time. So I'll just show you this one quickly. Again, step one is eyes forward. Step two, bring your hands into the chicken wings. And then the next point, as you're straightening, at the same time that you straighten up the arms, you jump the legs underneath you. So the arms and the shoulders are really the drivers of the jump up, pop up. Pause in my surface crouch again, and then slowly stand up, and you're surfing. It's a really good idea to practice the pop-up when you're learning. Practice it lots of times on dry land, on the sand. Maybe do it 10 times on your bedroom floor before you sleep at night, and when you get up in the morning, do it 10 times again. That way, when you get into the ocean, it'll feel as smooth as butter. So I hope this helps you. If it does, check out the other videos on this YouTube channel, or you can subscribe or go to the website cookvidges.com, where there's lots of tips and advice about women surfing.